Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Ark Survival Evolved. In this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you how to tame a Quetzal. This will be a two-part video. In the first part, I'm going to show you how to tame your very first Quetzal, and then in the second one, I will show you how to tame Quetzals once you have your first Quetzal, because that makes the job a lot easier. So if you guys enjoy this video and find it useful and informative, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. So, the taming of your first Quetzal, that is one of the most difficult things in the game, or one of the more difficult things in the game. Now, the Quetzals never ever land, and the moment you attack them or hit them, they will fly away. So, your very first Quetzal, you will not want to be fussy about it. It does not matter what level it is. Obviously, the higher level, the better. But the higher level also means more trank darts and trank arrows. I personally recommend, of course, using the trank darts, as they don't have that much fall on them. With the arrows, you'll have to aim higher, and so that does complicate the situation, as you will be constantly moving. Of course, for this you will need an Argent. On the Argent, you will want to have a decent carry weight, as well as a decent amount of stamina. You will also want, of course, a ghillie suit. You will also want to have, of course, some backup armor, in the sense of, say, for example, you will want to have some fur armor just in case you end up flying into a cold area. You also want to have food and plenty of water, as it will take a long time to tame it once it has been taken down. So as you can see, this is my Argent. I'm going to show you how I attribute the stats on my Argent. Now, as I said, very important to have a decent amount of stamina. You also want a decent amount of weight, as well as a good amount of HP in case you need to defend your Quetzal once it has fallen to the ground. So I'm going to put some HP in it, and I'm also going to put in some weight just to help me carry all the stuff that I need. You'll of course also want to have spiked walls, or of course if you want, you can use the wooden fence foundations and then stack 3 walls on top of them and then surround the Quetzal once it's down. I'm going to go for the spiked wall. Also have a saddle with you if you can craft it. If not, just go for the Quetzal as is. I will of course be using grappling hooks on a crossbow and the trank darts to tame it. You also want to have plenty of narcotics with you, and in terms of kibble, it prefers the exceptional kibble. Let's see what it takes to craft the saddles for the the Quetzal. And as you can see, at level 76 you can craft the normal Quetz saddle, and at level 97 you can craft the platform saddle. Now on the platform saddle, you will of course be able to build structures. It does have its limitations in terms of how many structures you can add to it, but it does make life easier because you can build a Quetz trap on top of the saddle. So with that being said and done, let's get into the taming part of this video. So as you can see, I found myself a Quetzal right there. It's flying. So what I need to do now is, you want to have your Argent on follow. You will want to equip the grappling hook on your crossbow. Follow the Quetzal. You want to get close to it before you start the next procedure. What you want to do is want to get some height. Then you want to jump off the Argent, aim at it, and then grapple on to your Argent. You'll want to use the go to command. On the computer it is, I believe, the period. I'm not quite sure what it is on consoles. You can of course also use the attack my target command, but the problem with that is the Quetzal will fly, the Argent will fly towards the Quetzal, and there is a chance of attacking it. Now this is good in terms of the Argent following the Quetzal, but I prefer the go to command, as I can control where the Argent goes. Get close to it before you start firing your shots. Once you hit it, the Quetzal will want to fly away, so just follow it and get close to it. Fire as many trank darts into it as you can. Now there are two things that can happen here. It can of course fly into a dangerous area, and you can end up knocking it out in a dangerous area. And so that would be of course underwater, which is where we are situated, or in an area where there are dangerous creatures. If it does fall in an area with dangerous creatures, that is where the palisade walls will come in handy, as you will have to fly down really quickly and of course kill whatever is attacking your Quetzal, then surround it with the spiked walls, or as I call them, palisade walls, and that's probably thanks to Conan Exiles. But as you can see, my Quetzal is somewhat stuck in that cliff underneath it. As you can see, there's a little ledge. If it remains there, that is good for me. It will fall on the ledge. Mind you, there will not be a lot of space, but I should be able to land next to it with my Argent. Once you have knocked out the Quetzal, if it is in a dangerous area and you cannot land like this, what you can do is then you can swap back to your crossbow, reel yourself in. Then once you're close enough, hit the interact button to mount your Argent, fly down, defend your Quetzal. Obviously, if it's in a dangerous area, and 90% of arc is pretty much dangerous, you will have to defend it. It will take a couple of hits, meaning it will lose taming effectiveness. But of course, this is your first Quetzal. It is bound to happen. There is no other safer way of doing it. Also very important, mind what is attacking your Quetzal. And what I mean by that is, if it looks like it is a high level Giganotosaurus, or a Giga for that matter, or Wyvern, anything that you cannot face, do not even bother trying to defend it. If it's a large pack of Daedons or a large pack of Wolves, you can try and defend it, but do not risk your Argent for that. This is your first Quetzal. There is no point in risking it unless it's a high level, but even so, have an escape plan. Obviously, it will get hit, it will lose taming effectiveness, so therefore it won't get as many levels. But with this, you can then go on to tame higher level Quetzals. Now, they are very rare to spawn, and as I said, Quetzals do not land in the wild. Now, in my case, as you can see, the go-to is actually helping me. If I were to use the attack my target, the Argent would just go for the Quetzal and pretty much attack it. However, with using the go-to command, I am able to keep the Argent moving around. Now, this is very important because if you are close to land, the Argent will have the instinctive reaction to try and land, which is not what you want. Now, obviously, I could reel myself in should I want to. I don't want to. I can just get the Argent to pretty much drop me off nicely. Swap over to your crossbow. Press C to release on PC. Mount the Argent and then go to where the Quetzal has been taken down. Be careful when you land next to it if you are on a cliff, because you can get pushed off by the Quetzal's hitbox as it is breathing. Also, don't forget that you do tend to dismount on the right side of your Argent, so that's helpful to know for positioning in terms of how you dismount. The Quetzal is now down. I am going to starve it as usual, then place whatever food I want to choose to use to tame it. Obviously, for a low level Quetzal, you will want to use meat, and for the high level Quetzal, you will want to use kibble. Now that it has been starved, I'm going to place in the superior kibble. I have plenty of this. Obviously, in your case, you will consume more kibble. I do have increased taming rates on the server due to other mods and settings on this current server. Once you have tamed it, don't forget to take the kibble out of the Quetzal's inventory as it will consume it. Place the saddle on. Now, if you don't have a platform saddle, just a normal saddle will do. If you don't have a saddle, you could just whistle it to follow you, and then of course have it follow you back to your base. Level it up. It's very important. You must level it up because you do need a specific amount of stamina and recommended HP for the next part of the video. So with that being said and done, I'm going to go and find a place to land, and we will start with the trap building for the second Quetzal. Okay, so the footage did not make it through. Something happened with the recording software. So here I am with the Quetzal that I actually tamed after that particular video or segment of the video, and I'm going to show you how to build the trap that you will see in the video. So for this, you will want 2 foundations. You'll want to disable ally looking, as it does help you a lot and it can cause problems with regards to the entire taming process as well as building. So you'll want to center your first foundation. I'm going to use, of course, wooden foundations. You can use thatch as well. It really does not make a difference, as the Quetzal is not aggressive at all when taming. So place it as close to the edge as you can over here. So as you can see, you will want to be able to access the saddle with the structures on. Second foundation behind it. And so that is it for the 2 foundations. Then we will need ceilings. So we will need a total of, let me see. So I'll just count them out as I do them. 2 on each side. Then you want to go forward with another 2. So that's 4 ceilings right there. Another 2 on this side right here. So that is a total of 6. And then we close off the back with 3. So that is a total of 9 ceilings. Once you've done this, you will want to use door frames to create the trap itself. And we're going to go 3 tall. We're going to only cover the corners. So we're going to do that. And then another one right there. So that'll be 3 times 2 is 6. Then we have another 6 in this corner right here. That'll be 12. And we'll do that at the back, which means you want 24 door frames. Obviously, you will want some spares just in case you break some during the process of building. And then to close off the trap, we will also want an additional 4 ceilings. But I'll show you that in a bit. Also, the reason we put those ceilings at the front is so we can place a ramp. So let's do the ramp. Now the ramp will help us access the saddle, and through that we can access the Quetzal's inventory. So all you have to do is crouch and then kind of go towards the edge of the ramp. You might have to move around a bit. You can see the E for ride, so you can access the inventory or mount the Quetzal should you need to. Okay, so with that being said and done, let's go over here. So you want 1 ceiling in each corner, and that should be enough to close the trap up. Now, as you can see, it's not fully enclosed, but it is not going to allow the Quetzal to get through once you have it trapped. Yes, there is space, but the Quetzal's hitbox is larger than the spaces between the structures. Therefore, it will block the Quetzal in. Also, very, very important in terms of the stats, which I will cover in the next segment of the video, is you will want at least 3,000 stamina on your Quetzal, maybe 3,000 HP. Alright, so after you spend many hours killing off Quetzals to get a high level one to spawn in, and you get lucky enough to find a high level tech Quetzal or a high level Quetzal in general, what you'll want to do is you'll want to trap it and tame it. Now, in this case, my Quetzal is close to the ground, and so if I dismount now, my Quetzal will want to land. There are 2 things you can do. The first one is you can follow it around until it is high enough and it has clearance of the ground. Otherwise, what you will want to do, if you don't have the patience for it, you can go up behind it, give it a peck. Of course, that will make the Quetzal fly away from you. I was going to say run, but it flies. So you will have to give chase. But as you can see, we are going to clear the low ground. So I'm just going to follow it until we are clear of any low ground, as that way we are the safest. Now, obviously, with this, you will want to tame the Quetzal in the air. It is the safest place to do so. I'm just waiting for it to do whatever it's doing. Now, what you want to do is you want to position yourself so that the Quetzal's body is inside the cage that you built. Then dismount the Quetzal that you're riding, and as you can see, the wild Quetzal is now trapped in. It will not be able to fly back out, so you can start tranking it. Now, what you want to do is you want to put yourself in a corner like I did. Your choice of corners, there are 4 to choose from, And the reason behind that is sometimes, whilst the Quetzal is not aggressive itself, the hitbox of the Quetzal can push you off the platform. Whilst if you are in the corner, that will stop the Quetzal from pushing you off. Now obviously, I will make cuts to the video as it does take a lot of tranq darts and patience to knock out a high level Quetzal. Also, as I mentioned previously in the video, you want your Quetzal to have at least 3000 stamina. Now that will help it stay in the air during the taming process. You will also want your Quetzal to have maybe 3000 HP should you need to use it to fight stuff off, or should you find yourself in danger. Additionally, you will want to have plenty of food and water with you because this will take a long time. And as always, I recommend starving out the wild Quetzal before you decide to tame it, because things can go wrong. Once it is knocked out, as you can see, it can become a bit derpy up here, and you will want to be careful how you move. Also have grappling hooks with you should you need to have them with you. Now very important here is you do not want to mount your Quetzal, because the moment you do that and move your Quetzal, the wild Quetzal will fall through to the ground. You want to keep it in the air. Now I've been up here in the air for a while. My Quetzal is still fine on stamina. It will consume stamina whilst it is just hovering like this, but very little, which is why you want a lot of it, because it will take a long time to starve out the Quetzal. Once you have starved it out, then you can put in the kibble, and as you saw there, it likes the exceptional kibble. So we'll just wait for this one to tame out. Also, you can use your own Quetzal to store stuff, so if it does have a decent amount of weight, you can always put your narcotics and spare ammunition and grappling hooks inside the Quetzal, and you can access its inventory from here. You can also store food and stuff in there. Obviously, if you're going to do that, make sure you have plenty of food, because your Quetzal will also eat the cooked meat. So as you can see, it is now taming. It's just going to be a couple of minutes before it has been tamed. And I'm still airborne. My Quetzal still has plenty of stamina remaining. So we'll just wait it out now. Sometimes it can get a bit derpy with the feeding part. Of course, you can use the superior kibble. You can use mutton. You can use the lamb chops, or of course you can also use prime meat or cooked prime meat. Obviously, to store that, you will want to place a preserving bin in the saddle at one point in some corner, your choice where you want to place it. But in order to do that, because we have reached maximum building capacity, you will want to move, or better said, remove one of the seatings. The one I recommend that you remove is the one that I'm looking at, or was looking at just then, and so therefore you can place the preserving bin on the saddle. I personally recommend placing the preserving bin, of course, in between one of the door frame gaps, just to cover one of those gaps up. That's my personal recommendation. Also, additionally, you will want to have some spiked walls with you. I personally recommend anywhere around 30 to maybe 40. 30 should suffice, and that is, of course, in case your Quetzal runs out of stamina. It will want to land, and therefore the wild Quetzal will fall to the ground. If that is the case, then what you will want to do is, of course, surround the wild Quetzal that you've just knocked out with the spiked walls. Obviously, you might have to fend off some creatures, but you should be able to keep an eye on your Quetzal stamina. If it looks like it's about to land or is running out of stamina, what you will have to do is you will have to grapple onto your Quetzal or find a way down and make sure the area is clear. Then have your Quetzal follow you. Also, you can grapple onto the Quetzal and give it the go to command, as you did with the Argent, and of course have it land. So that is pretty much it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks,